with a mission. I stand on Coffin Tower. Whispers of magic from the past. Ruins call with ancient power. Heroes gather with a mission. I set on Coffin Tower. Whispers of magic from the past. Ruins call.
Howdy, everyone.
With ancient power. Stone and shadows underfoot now. Every step a tales unfold. Echoes of a time forgotten. Island secrets to be told. Climb the tower, heroes brave. Through the magic we will pave. To the top we rise defiance. Shining bright in dark alliance. Corruption creeps around the stones. Essence twisting in the air. But with courage burning strong, we will cleanse with earnest care. Observatory within sight. Eye of violet shining bright. Fight the magic, fight the night. Together we restore the light. Climb the tower, heroes brave. Through the magic we will pave. To the top we rise defiance. Shining bright in dark alliance. Corruption creeps around the stones. Essence twisting in the air. But with courage burning strong, we will cleanse with earnest care. Observatory within sight. Eye of violet shining bright. Fight the magic, fight the night. Together we restore the light.
Walk through instead mud on boots. Gather rocks, help build their roots. Drag the wood from fallen trees.
Rise of heroes in the night. Phoenix flames burn so bright. Threats arise, they stand tall. Defend the world, never fall. There are souls, they fight for free. No reward, no luxury. First up front, they lead the way. For the citizens, they stay. Phoenix initiative, never back down. In the darkness, life's found. Tireless warriors, into
Hey y'all. So Jamie Chaos and Nice Gaming absolutely started a riot in Discord today. Oh my goodness. What a day it's been. I'm sorry for getting started a little bit late today. My daughter is home with me today, and we've been talking about watching the movie Free Willy here for a few weeks, and she said, hey, can we watch that? And I said, yeah, sure. And so we sat down and watched Free Willy today. She'd never seen it before, so that was fun, getting to watch, one of the movies I watched when growing up. This camera is not. Anyways, yeah, childhood classic, exactly. And so I definitely watched that with her, and then right as the movie was ending, about the last 10 minutes or so, all of a sudden I started getting pinged. Green screen illusion broken. Yeah, right. It's not the camera. Come on, Mabari. Why y'all gotta be mean? But yeah, I started getting pings in Discord from different people. And did she cry during the movie? She definitely started to tear up a little bit when the trailer slid off the mountainside a little bit, and it looked like they weren't going to get her or him. I believe that's a female whale in real life, if I remember correctly. But anyways, they weren't going to get the whale to the ocean. And then again, whenever it looked like the orca was trapped, and because they freed him, and then the boats go cross, and they show the net, and they show Willie underneath trying to get through the net or whatever, and she's like, oh no, they're going to catch him again. And so she was tearing up just a little bit, but she got over it. And then afterwards she said it was really good. So what happened during the Discord? Why is there a riot? I'm getting to that. So we need the Chisme? I don't know what that means, Babari. The GNORP says, hey, man. Levi, it was over the tank name, but it was a little more gossip in Spanish. Okay, I got you. It was a little more. It was a little dirtier than that. Let's go with dirtier than that. I guess Jamie, in his ever-present, just nonstop, constant petition and charge to change the name of Tank in Ashes of Creation to Vanguard. He has decided he's no longer even going to say the word tank anymore. And so he now puts it in Discord as ******* K. Which immediately people picked up on as a euphemism for a different word that could be shown as ****** K. And so then everybody started in with the puns regarding that, having a really bad ***** K could be really bad. You can always replace them, but you'll never get back the time you tried, the time that you spent trying to make it good. Stuff like that. So it was just like the Discord, which moved. Dr. Spin 805. Thank you for the follow. The Discord, which now move, just as an everyday, just on an average everyday Tuesday or whatever, just kind of moves at a decent clip, whatever. A few people are talking here and there, and there'll be stretches of time where there's nothing going on. Oh, a subscriber. Thank you, man. I appreciate it, Dr. Spins. Really do. Yeah. It started moving fast. The chat started going crazy, and then Nice put in a fake form letter from Intrepid that's Dear Nice Gaming, you've been removed from the content creator program for for inciting a riot in the Discord over an archetype name or something like that, and then signed it and actually tagged Margaret. Oh God. So yeah, there was a whole riot in Discord. I makes gamers happy. Yeah, there you go. I one of the Discords I'm in, a lot of people are suspecting that we're speculating that we're all going to get banned, all of us. So if I get banned, it's been nice knowing y'all. The GNORP says, I think I remember you through Tin Man. You just popped up in my recommended. Yes, sir, you do remember me through Tin Man. I used to do a show with Tin Man about Ashes of Creation. I don't know if you're up to date on what's going on with Tin Man, but he has completely and totally retired from content creation. Says he's never going to return to it. I guess you never know what that is, but he's creating a trading card game, like a Magic the Gathering style game that's got his own rules, and he's built this whole, his whole universe, and he has a whole team, and they're all into it, and they're out there getting venture capital for it. So it's pretty crazy. I'm really, really, really proud of Tin Man, everything he's doing. So, yeah. Dr. Spins is Chris, FYI. Oh, Chris, thank you, man. Appreciate the sub. I've been teaching my wife tanking. Okay. Yep. So, yeah, that's what happened today. Jamie made a censored version of tank. Everyone took that censored version of tank to mean a different word and went crazy. It's Fane says, what game is this? This is a game that has... it's got a name that a lot of people are unhappy with. It's called Tank. And one of our content creators for the game, his name is Jamie Chaos. He is just adamant that they should change the name of Tank to Vanguard. And he's starting a petition to get that done. And so I'm just doing a stream trying to make people aware of the name change that we're trying to make happen, that specifically Jamie Chaos is trying to make happen. And so again, as always, I will always recommend to you guys, go message Jamie Chaos and let him know that you want to put your name on the petition to change the name Tank to Vanguard. Tank is so boring. You're right, Gazera. You're so right. The GMP says, I'm not, but that's sad. I was going to help him with that card game, but I never received a packet, but I'm sure there's a good reason. You know, I was part of helping for a short period of time, but I think he kind of honed in on the people who were really going to be able to help him with what he needed, and he's been using those people. It's Fane says, okay, which content creator is the worst friend? Okay, do you mean worst friend, or are you using friend as like buddy, pal, like... What content creator is the worst friend? Or do you mean which one's the worst friend? Because that's two different answers. Like in general, which one's the worst? Yeah, me. There's no question about that. There's no question about that. Like as a friend. Which one? Oh, there's a guy who runs a website called After Sanctus. And you should check him out. He's definitely the worst friend of all the content creators. Wrong. It's Stakino. Content creator combat. Begin. So yeah, there's a riot in the Discord. Is it still going crazy? Are they still just like over there going crazy? Let's see. Let's see how fast stuff is getting posted over here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it's never stopping. They've marched barons. We will not be silenced. Okay, okay. Nope, they're not stopping at all. Let me see what you posted here.
Would I buy Vladis's OnlyFans? I wouldn't buy any OnlyFans. You're a sick person. Would I buy?
Wait, Q. Fane. Q refused to buy your OnlyFans? Is that what I'm understanding? Q. Man. Or Vladis's. That's, I mean, you're not a good friend unless you buy your friend's OnlyFans. I mean, that's just common knowledge at this point, isn't it? Doesn't everybody know that? It's only natural. If not friend, why friend shaped? Sad times when homies won't even buy the OnlyFans. That's why most of us are here. Yes. Yeah. Mibari says my autism is spiking. They don't really have OnlyFans, right? Why would you, Mibari? Why would you think that? Is Vladis not good looking enough for you to have OnlyFans? What reason would it be that you would just suspect out of nowhere that he doesn't have an OnlyFans? Someone checks Mibari's search history. I mean, toe picks are bust for real, for real. What's going on, Swish? I see, man. I'm telling you, the first time chat thing on Twitch must have a time limit on it or something, because I know for a fact Swish used to talk in my chat back at Alpha 1, but I'm getting a note that he's the first time chatter. Thanks for jumping in the conversation today, Swish. I appreciate it, man. Imagine being autistic and a judgmental prick at the same time. Incognito mode is active. He does have an OnlyFans. I remember the OnlyFans joke. Oh my goodness. That is a kickback to Alpha 1 times. The cool thing about Vladis's OnlyFans it's SFW. The camera shoots over his head. It's safe for work. Fane, you're something else, man. Swish says I have the eternal first time chatter buff. Yeah, no doubt about it. Oh man, guys. So I have a video queued up. It is another video from the same creator yesterday, Moonman OFC, who again, not a lot of subscribers, but thousands and thousands of views on all his videos. And he seems to do a pretty good job. And I forget the topic on this one. Oh, weapon talents. Weapon talents. He has a whole video, like a 20-minute video on the weapon skill trees and weapon talents. And so I thought we would watch it and see what he has to say. Maybe you can spark a little bit of a discussion here today. Levi says, I remember all of the videos and streams of people trying to prove that OnlyFans was Fane lurking in chat. Oh my God, I forgot about it. See, you're bringing up old memories, man, and I got to tell you, I sit around daydreaming about Alpha 1 and not really playing Ashes of Creation. Like, to some degree. I mean, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed the crap out of the game and I had a great time for that month. But I just missed the way the community just came out and everybody was just hanging out and rating each other's streams, and subs and donations were flying out of everywhere for everybody. Everybody was getting numbers and hanging out. It was a lot of fun. So yeah, thanks for reminding me of those days. All right, so let's see if we can switch over to that scene. And let's check out what Moonman OFC has to say about the Ashes of Creation weapon talent system.
Howdy everyone, my name is Moonman, and today we're going to be discussing the weapon talent system in Ashes of Creation. When I was putting this video together, I realized there was a ton of...
Futa says, Zillins, love the content. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Oracle says, I miss watching a certain someone play with his blue balls. yeah, we're all gonna miss that, Oracle. We're all gonna miss that.
Of information around the general weapon system, procs, and status effects that were important for fully understanding the weapon talent system, and as such will be...
So, those of you who are heavy into min-max gameplay, meta gameplay, just being good at the game, just in general, like you want your character to be really, really strong, I think this is going to be a very important video to pay attention to, because he's going to... Just on this few first seconds, he's really going to look into all the different status effects and what they do and which weapons, at least that we know of so far, give off those status effects. And this is all going to be information. I think about this sometimes where, you know, a lot of you guys play WoW. I played SWTOR for a long time, but some of you are ESO, Final Fantasy 14 or whatever. There's all these acronyms that we all use, and we all know that strength does, modifies this type of damage, and dexterity modifies this type of damage, and this status effect does this, and all that, and it's all like ingrained in our memory, and we just know it off the back of our heads. And this Ashes of Creation is going to be no different, except for there's a lot more of that shit. There's so many stats and status effects, so pay attention if you're into that shit.
Covering pretty much everything having to do with the overall weapon system. We've seen a lot more information come out around weapon talents in the past 2 Ashes of Creation updates, but it's important to note that the team has been very upfront about how these specific talents are still being worked on, and that they plan on coming through to implement final balancing before the Alpha 2 comes out later this year. If you didn't know, the weapon talents are separate from class ability talents, and that your weapon choice will have no effect on available abilities. That said, weapon talents will have a huge impact on your ability synergies and group synergies, and we'll get into that more later.
Yeah, those group synergies are going to be crazy. Like you're in order to make like a really, really optimal min-maxed group as opposed to just character, you're really going to need to sit down and figure out all the different status effects that have been applied, and which ones you want to apply and stuff. It's going to be insane. Truly insane.
Before we take a deep dive into the weapon talent system itself, I want to go over some background information around the general combat and weapon systems that is important to understand, ultimately to truly grasp how the weapon talents come into play in Ashes of Creation. First off, there are a lot of different weapons in Ashes.
Axes, bows, clubs, daggers, hammers, lances, maces, orbs, polearms / halberds, scepters, shields, spears, spellbooks, staves, swords / rapiers, and wands.
All of these weapons will have different talent trees that synergize with your class abilities, as well as other class abilities in some cases.
Phil Wall says that the Ashes combat or tanking discussion Riot is still going on. Oh man, that's really funny. That is really funny.
Weapons are not locked out by class, and any class can use any weapon. It goes without saying that some weapons will synergize better with certain classes. I'd imagine a mage using a massive 2-hand hammer may not be the best synergy, but who really knows until we give it a try in Alpha 2.
I know that I wasn't expecting to be carrying around an ice staff as a tank in ESO, but that was the meta. So, yeah, you never know what's going to end up being meta when you have a system where any class can use any weapon and wear any armor.
Weapons and auto attacks have a combo system. So your weapon will have a number of attacks in its combo by default. Different weapon types have a different sequence of combat animations, and combos are triggered by performing your basic weapon attacks. The number of steps and passive effects that trigger during weapon combos can be customized through your weapon talents. In other words, your weapon combo is X number of attacks by default, but can be increased to a longer attack combo, and there are different effects that your weapon combos can trigger. For instance, hitting your full combo could trigger a momentary increase to your movement speed or your attack.
I love the idea of hitting the whole combo gives you a movement speed buff short, even in just a second. Movement speed is so important in any type of like very heavily mobile, PvP type of scenario. So yeah, I love that already.
Speed. This is also where synergies become a big part of the weapon talent system. In the fighter preview, we learned more about these synergies and how they can benefit you individually as well as come into play with other classes. We have Second Strike as a weapon talent for the Greatsword, and basically what this does is after a weapon combo finisher, your next ability deals additional damage. Oh, and a weapon combo finisher, by the way, basically just means finishing your full weapon combo and hitting your final attack in the combo.
So it's hitting your final attack in the combo. So if you swing, like if it's a 4-attack combo and you hit the first time, miss the second and third, and still hit the fourth, that still counts as having finished your combo and giving you the bonus. That's something we'll have to test in Alpha 2.
Combo. But for the Greatsword, that could be your third or fourth attack. There is, quote, perfect timing, where after a weapon combo finisher, the next ability you cast will have a reduced cooldown, and finally, Burning Blade, which will apply to a burning debuff, or really a burning status effect to your target. Let's just take a second to dissect that in the scope of synergies.
That's several different, pretty significant buffs. The one that reduces the cooldown of abilities, that's nasty too. Man, these are really good.
Second Strike and Perfect Timing provide individual synergy that could create a large damage increase or increased utility. However, Burning Blade is really the cool one here because it creates a synergy with a class other than yourself. I would assume that Burning is a debuff that causes some sort of damage over time, but based on what the Ashes team said, this will synergize with the Mage archetype, and they are still working through what that synergy will look like, but I imagine a Mage using a Fire spell after a Greatsword user procs the Burning debuff, and that can increase the damage output of that Fire spell. Seems like there will be many more of these types of synergies that will be implemented within various weapon.
Triple Play says with tab targeting doesn't make a huge difference in regard to Lud saying I personally hope we got to connect combos for them to fully work. The game is tab target, but your basic attack, you have to hit with it. You have to swing and you're not like targeting something as in it gives you a reticle and you have to put the reticle on something, but you're going to know how your sword swings or whatever, and you're going to actually have to hit with that thing. So, yeah. And then a piece, like you said, there's still evasion, distance required to attack, still the action side of things. Futa says, Zillan, what are your thoughts on Underrealm nodes? Do you think there will be underground paths perhaps between the continents or island? I think it's been confirmed that the vassal system won't. I love the idea of Underrealm nodes. We don't know anything about the Underrealm. We talked about this on stream a couple of days ago. In Alpha 1, there was like a little section of the Underrealm that you could go. It wasn't even really the Underrealm. It was just kind of a cave that had like bioluminescent flowers everywhere. Looked cool as hell. It was really, really pretty inside of there. But that's like the limit of what we know. It's so crazy. Underrealm nodes from reaching metros and vice versa. Yeah, I don't know. Overlap between the overworld and the underrealm, so like separate layers. However, if there are 5 metros in the overworld, since there can only be 5 metros on any given server, would that lock out any? I'm guessing you're going to say underworld nodes. I guess I don't know. It's a good question. I don't know. Abraham, do you think direct damage or applying status effect will be more impactful for melee damage dealers? Do you think direct damage or applying status effects will be more impactful for melee damage dealers? I would suspect that if you are fighting someone one-on-one, direct damage is going to be more important. However, as soon as you get into any group scenario, as he's pointing out here, you get Burning Blade going, and then you have a fire mage who's taking advantage of the status effects that you were applying because of your Burning Blade. And then having Burning Blade just makes everybody else on the team hit harder or better or whatever. So then it's the status effects. So yeah, that's a good question. But I mean, hell, I could be wrong. I don't know. We'll see. Of course, Zilla would take all the glory streaming. Yeah, I thought that was hilarious, man. The Nice and Jamie started a dang riot over there in the Discord.
And talents, and there are already a lot of these types of synergies built into various abilities and spells. I find this to be a really cool aspect of Ashes of Creation. I think about PvP and PvE and how your group composition, weapon choices, spell choices can largely alter how various encounters play out.
Okay, so this is a little bit of a content creator thing. So you guys, if you watch my videos, you know that I do very little editing. I just talk and put some B-roll over it and we go. Sometimes I don't even put B-roll over it. It's literally just my stupid face talking to you. And every once in a while I'll put some stuff on the screen. But I'm always like super envious of people who are like super creative and always come up with really good things to put on the screen as they're talking and like relate it to what they're talking about and stuff. And Moonman here has been pretty good at that so far, but he just mentioned 3 things that had nothing to do with just random characters on the screen from the cosmetic packs. I don't know what this is. This is strange. Nibiru says, yes, 5 metros include the Underworld nodes. So there you go. The Underworld nodes will get locked out as well.
Out, your damage output, damage mitigation, and so on. It just really builds this kind of risk-reward ratio of, hey, should we run this? Should we run that? If we do this, that might, affect how much we can heal or how much our damage output is, but it really helps us in this specific phase of this boss, kind of so on and so forth. Now, let's really dig deep into the weapon talent system. We've only seen 3 weapons be covered, those being the bow, greatsword, and wand. I think the best weapon to focus on is the wand, because that weapon talent tree seems to be the most fleshed out, at least as far as the...
So the oldest archetype has the most fleshed out tree? I mean, or not archetype, but weapon. That's what PI was saying. A lot of the PI people were saying the newer stuff you've seen is not nearly as fleshed out.
The information we have. One thing that isn't quite clear with the weapon talent tree is how we progress through this tree. I'd love to see the team release more information on this because in every update, their characters are a high enough level to have a multitude of talent points spent, but it's tough to understand where you start in the talent tree and how you can progress through it. As an example, can I simply pick any talent, or do higher tier talents unlock as we progress? It seems like we are forced to choose one of 2 talents initially, and that starts to unlock more of the talent tree. When I look at the wand tree, I wonder if I can go from wand hit +5 to weapon training power wand, right into beam amplifier, and so on, and effectively skip the whole hit +5 tree, or if I need to gather a certain number of talent points before I can move on from wand +5 to weapon training power wand, etc. As far as the weapon talents themselves, they seem pretty self-explanatory. Some talents provide passive increases to stats, such as increased critical strike chance. Some talents affect your weapon combos by increasing the length or number of your basic attack combo. Some of them provide a class bonus.
I've already said I still think a homing ability would be nice as a different way of PvP crowd control, like the lightning ball would seek a target and for that target to manage that attack away from their group. Manage that attack. Do you mean like kite it away? Mr. Noob Tactics says, never thought, a quote from Discord, never thought I'd time 2 hours worth of dick jokes in AOC Discord, but I did. Holy shit, was a legendary day, LOL. Yep. And Riot has been incited with dick jokes in the AOC Discord, and Margaret was tagged on it, so that's going to be... Well, I'm curious about the fallout. What the fallout of this situation is going to be. Oh, that's funny. So Mawari said yes. So Mawari, what you're saying is you throw in a lightning ball and it's homing towards a specific player, and then I guess it would have to hit really hard in order to make that player be like, oh crap, I have to get away from the group, and then they leave the group, and which breaks the lines, like say, let's say of tanks, Maybe it could be even an ability that only hits tanks or somebody who have a certain percentage of armor or something like that. They have 500 armor, which is really high, or something like that. It'll only go to those people and home to them. So then that way would break the tank lines that people are suspecting that might happen. That's not a bad idea. Mentioned we've got some band hammer incoming. I doubt it very seriously, but I think it's funny that Nice had the balls to tag Margaret.
Buff. Essence Harvest, as an example, has a chance to increase your magical power by a percentage for every time that you trigger your wand proc. Some talents have an effect on your abilities, and some talents can add a specific effect to your weapon. Burning projectiles, for instance, gives your wand and beam attacks a 10% chance to burn the target. So let's go ahead and go through the whole wand talent tree, and we can digest all the different things the current weapon talents will affect specific to the wand. Alright, let's go ahead and dive into the wand weapon talent tree. As I was talking about a little bit earlier with the progression through the talents, it does seem like we have two main starting places on the bottom left and then right at the bottom in the middle. I know you can't see the the selection on the bottom left, but we have our projectiles for the wand with burning, killing, and electrifying projectiles. We'll go ahead and pick burning projectiles, and basically every wand projectile and beam has a 10% chance to burn the target, and then all of the talents kind of in this middle section connected to your projectiles are going to then buff your projectiles. So we have our elemental attunement, which increases the trigger chance of elemental status effect wand procs by 5%. As you make your way up, it's going to increase that by another 5% and then another 5%. Then we have elemental lure. Wand damage is increased by 3% per application of burning, chilled, or volatile on the target up to 9%. And I'm not sure how this will necessarily play out, if this will both increase the damage percentage as well as the max percentage, or maybe when you get to...
Yeah, that's not clear at all. What? 3% per application of burning, chilled, or volatile on the target up to 9%. What music am I hearing? I don't have anything open for there to be music. I'm not. What the fuck? There's no music going anywhere. I'm looking everywhere and I'm trying to figure out where this music's coming from. I have no idea. You don't hear music? That's weird. Oh, it just stopped now. I legitimately have not one clue where that music is coming from. That's wild. Okay, anyways, this is super confusing. That's all I was going to say.
Elemental Lure 3, you will just instantly apply the max 9%. Well, I guess we'll have to find out. Then we have Wand Hit 5 extra damage. Going to increase the 5th hit of your wand by 15%. More base damage. Again, just 15% on each talent as you make your way through.
Every time I pause it now, I'm going to hear this music and want to know where the hell it's coming from. So yeah, I noticed that the developer here took 15% 3 times. That's 45% more damage on your basic attack. That's a lot. So those status effects and the bonuses and boosts that you get when you're applying the status effects and damage stuff is going to have to be pretty damn substantial to make up for a potential 45% increase in your damage. Yeah, Lud, I was reading again and thinking, okay, maybe it's just telling you that the max is 9%, but it's like it shouldn't need to tell you that because there's only 3 of them that you can stack, so it's only going to 9%. But yeah, I see what you mean.
Through, for some background, this goes in line with the weapon combo system. So when you hit that 5th hit of your wand, that 5th hit is going to deal X% more damage. One thing that I would really like to see out of this is that the progression as you make your way up feels a little bit bland. I mean, more proc chance by 5%, 5%, 5%. More damage by 15%, 15%, 15%. It just feels a little bit bland. I wish that as you made your way through, the buffs or increases were slightly different. Maybe, you know, kind of ramping up
Yeah.
in how much they are buffing the damage, or maybe that these lead to some sort of keystone kind of right at the top that gives you some sort of special effect connected to the rest of the tree. Or maybe once you max out all three, that you then unlock a keystone ability kind of right up here. Something to incentivize, you know, filling out this tree other than just static damage. Or just kind of I guess this, you know, I do like Elemental Lure. The buff seems really cool to me specifically. Moving on though, we have our wand hit 5+. So you have a 25% chance on the 5th hit to instead fire a beam at the target that triggers proc effects
That's
and triggers
cool.
weapon finisher effects. And this effectively unlocks another tree right here in the middle. But
So yeah, Mr. Newtastic, that the passive skill tree during Alpha 1 was pretty bare bones. Like, there wasn't a lot to it. And then it was really, you know, revealed later on that it was all just placeholder, just to get us something to spend our skill points in during Alpha 1. And of course, the number of times that Steven mentioned, oh, this is just so that you guys have a gameplay loop in Alpha 2, makes me think that a lot of what we're looking at here will end up not being the case as soon as, like, or as we go into Alpha 2, but they're just trying to hit that date, and so they're just giving us things to put points into and loops to play for Alpha 2.
But something else is that it unlocks some of these abilities on the side, which we'll dive into here in a second. But specific to these, hit 5+ proc chance 1, increase the base trigger chance of hit 5+ to 50%, to 75%, and then to 100%. So effectively, every time you hit your 5th wand attack, 5th attack in your combo, you will have a 100% chance of proccing the beam to proc your wand to fire a beam. And over here we have wand hit 5+ extra damage. Really the same thing, more damage by 15%. And then we have wand damage focus, which increases the damage of all wand projectiles and beams by 5%. So kind of a buff applying to more areas of the wand, not just your 5+ wand hit damage, but all of your wand attack damage as a whole. Again, I would like to see a little bit more variability here. It feels a little bit bland that, you know, hey, I do think getting to 100% proc chance is definitely a big deal, especially for the beams, which you'll see a little bit later with this beam amplifier up here kind of on that top right section. But just seeing, you know, damage.
So are any of you guys already starting to, like, eyes glaze over and holy crap, the sheer number of choices I'm going to have? Like, is that starting to happen to any of you guys? Because this is just the weapon talent tree. This is not your skill talent tree, your passive talent tree, potential augments, your secondary archetype, gearing, and all the gearing choices you're going to have. Like, I'm just wondering, because I know some people that are like that. Like me, I'm like, oh yeah, this is, you know, just, I'm ready to dive into this, and I want to learn and know it all and be able to, you know, make builds and crazy stuff out of nowhere. But I know a bunch of people that have got to be like, bro, just make the video or the infographic and give it to me, because I can't with all this. Lud says I'm a content consumer, so this is all just food. I am pumped to see how we can get things to interact together. Yep. Oracle the White says, what was the third tab I saw? Third tab where? What are you talking about? Splinter says, perfectly balanced as all things should be. Macro balance, not micro balance.
Damage increases
Other way
on
around.
a static
Microbalance,
percentage.
not
Just feels a
microbalance.
little bit boring. I wish there was some sort of keystone that this was leading to.
Yep.
Something that gave me a little bit more,
Incentive.
I guess, feeling of weight in my decision making on the talents that I choose. Right now, it just kind of feels like I could pretty much go anything in these trees, and it'll probably work out. But kind of making our way through the progression, get wand hit 5 plus, then we can get our weapon training.
On this earlier, yeah, there's passive skills. There's your like class skills for like your class skill tree, and then this weapon skill tree. So that's the 3 trees that we had in Alpha 1. Of course, the weapon tree didn't work in Alpha 1, but that's a whole other conversation.
Power wand, which will increase our critical damage by 2%. This feels a little bit low to me. 2% crit damage doesn't seem like a whole lot. On the other side, we have Essence Harvest. Every time you trigger a wand proc, you have a 50% chance to increase magical power by 3% by 10 seconds. Stacks up to 5 times. I really like this. I think this is a really cool.
That's a rotation that's like basic attack, some ability, whatever, until you do 5 basic attacks, and now you have a 15% bonus of damage, and then you dump all your biggest hitting abilities immediately after, or something like that. That's pretty cool.
Cool talent, a part of the wand system, that you can effectively ramp up your magic power by focusing on shooting your basic attacks and triggering your wand procs. And once you hit a certain number, maybe you can unleash a very powerful spell. A lot of ways that you can synergize this with your rotation, focusing on wands versus abilities, or trying to ramp up that next ability to hit as hard as possible, so on and so forth. As we move our way up, we have our beam amplifier. So wand hit 6 plus now deals 50% more damage. At the previous wand combo hit was also a beam attack. I do want to take a step back for just a second and look at the progression here. So you might start with projectiles, get your wand hit 5 plus. That's going to open up weapon training, power wand. But I think the big thing here, so projectiles, I believe, will open up Essence Harvest, which will then open up Echo or Perfect Timing to open up this tree on the top. And then you have wand hit 6, which this seems like you might be able to just kind of get at any time. I'm not 100% sure, since it's right in the middle. But once you get wand hit 6 into wand hit 6 plus into another layer of weapon training, power wand, I think that's when you would unlock beam amplifier, because the big thing with beam amplifier is that you need to have wand hit 6 plus for it to even work, it seems like. Maybe not, though, considering that wand hit 5 enables a proc to fire a beam. I don't know. Again, this is why I'd like to see the team release a little bit more information on how we progress through these talents and kind of do a deep dive on this system specifically, because I think it's important just to understand, how can we make our way through, how long do I have to use a weapon, how many talent points do I have to get, and how many talent points do I actually get, right? Am I going to be able to fill out this entire tree and get every single thing in here just by using the weapon over and over and over again? Or am I going to be kind of picking and choosing what I want and really have a weight with my decision and what sort of gameplay style I have to choose based off of the limited number of talent points I get? They did say, however, that your weapon progression will be about 2 to 3 times faster than your ability progression as far as ability talent.
Weapon progression will be 2 to 3 times faster than ability progression. So, okay. I mean, I guess that makes sense. You it's not going to be as powerful as the abilities, so it doesn't matter. And also, it allows you to progress to several different weapons up there. Okay, that's fine. Are
concerned for your archetype. Nonetheless, would like to hear a little bit more in here, but let's just kind of go through this. Wand hit 6. This just adds another hit or another attack to your combo. Rather than being a 5-hit combo, now it is a 6-hit combo. And then we have wand hit 6 plus. You have a 25% chance on the 6th hit to instead fire a beam at the target that triggers proc effects. I guess maybe this is answering my own question, but maybe you can choose to go wand hit 6 or wand hit 5. Still not totally sure. But we have roughly the same thing as the below tree with increased proc chance, increased damage on the 6th hit or the final hit. And this is another layer of increased damage to the 6th hit, which seems a little bit odd that these both are identical. Nonetheless, let's go ahead and take a look here. So we have Echo or Perfect Timing. Let's take a look at Echo. Adds a 25% chance to gain the Echo proc upon completion of wand combo finishers and extended finishers. This rate increases to 100% upon beam finishers.
Okay.
Echo, when you strike a target with direct damage, it gets struck again for magical damage.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
So I guess basically you have a chance to proc this, I guess ultimately double attack or an extra attack, kind of at the end of your combo and your finisher.
100% on the beams.
And
that makes the
we have
beams
these
way
extra
strong.
stacks. Second strike and perfect timing now stack up to 2 times. And this seems a little odd since I didn't see second strike in here. I don't believe, just saw perfect timing. Maybe that's an error, but we'll just say, for perfect timing that it'll stack up more times, which we'll take a look at what perfect timing is in a sec. Echo and perfect timing proc effects, it extends the duration by 2.5 seconds. Just kind of the same thing all the way through, and then increases the damage of all wand projectiles by 8%. Looks like this is the same all the way through, so every wand attack is that much more powerful. I do actually have to refresh to change these if I remember correctly. For perfect timing, we have adds a 25% chance to gain the perfect timing proc upon completion of a weapon combo finisher and extended finishers. This rate increases to 100% upon beam finishers. Perfect timing reduces the cooldown of the next ability you cast by 5 seconds. That's pretty cool. It's kind of similar to Second Strike on the Greatsword, that it reduces the cooldown of your next ability used,
Yeah.
whereas Echo is adding damage to your combo with your wand itself. Overall, I think there's a lot of good things here. I think it's definitely making a lot of good progress, but just to repeat, I would love to see more information on the progression through this. What are the
So, yeah, I think we'd all like to see more information on all this. I suspect pretty strongly that they're not going to give us more information on this. This is going to be discovered during Alpha 2 as we go through, and people are going to be figuring out what's the best combinations of things, or what works best with certain classes or combinations or weapons or abilities or skills or whatever. So, yeah, but it's pretty crazy because this is pretty simple, as he's pointed out. Like, you're not really headed towards some Zenith type ability where it's like the reason why you're going down that skill tree is to get that thing at the top, that really big number or whatever, that increases the cooldowns by so much or whatever, anything like that. It's all very simple, but I'm already seeing, like, it's going to be months of people trying every last possible thing to figure out what actually, like, leads to faster time to kill, what actually leads to higher damage or more survivability and that sort of thing. With the, just if you, again, like I said yesterday, even if you take out the augment system, take the augment system completely out of the picture, and you just have the fact that you have all the abilities that we've all currently seen, and the fact that any class can wear any armor and use any weapon, and then you start combining it with these wildly different skill trees that have very different effects on them, it's the build diversity to be crazy, and you're not even getting into the augments yet. It's going to be crazy.
max talent points we're going to have? What sort of limitations am I going to have with this system? And additionally, I'd like to see more variability with what we're doing with these modifiers. When it comes to damage, this elemental lure, elemental attunement, proc chances, and so on. I would just like to see more options and ways to...
Nibiru, I was just reading your comment there. Love all the depth weapons have, makes basic attacks so much more interesting. You know what I might do? I might contact Vladis and have him come on the show. And we'll do a little dual stream action. And we can talk about the basic attacks and see if his mind has changed any on basic attacks because he you know, he's got that WoW brain, and so his answer when they were asking questions about basic attacks, you know, however many months ago that was, his answer was basically that he wanted basic attacks to work like they do in WoW, which is you don't push the basic attack button. It's just constantly going off in the background, white damage, I think they called it. And in this game, it's very different. Using your basic attack is very much an intentional choice that you make every time you use it. And I wonder if all these skill trees and the various different ways you could go about making your basic attack powerful has changed his mind. That's something we may have to do.
Change how my weapon works, and ultimately how I can choose how I'm playing my class with that weapon specifically. I think it's really big that talents specifically are going to be the way that I differentiate my character from everyone else, that I can implement my own play style. So it's one thing that I'm very touchy on because personally I like to try new things, and I want to be able to really kind of push the limits of my character and see what works in specific encounters and what doesn't. And I think the talents can really drive a lot of variability in that gameplay and how an individual plays their class or uses a specific weapon. I think another thing is potentially having some sort of keystone that these all lead up to, that hey, once I max all these out, I might get another ability that only comes once I've, sacrificed all the talent points into all these different things, which maybe that limits me from getting some of the other things in the tree and kind of so on. Looks like these last two things, which may be some more keystone talents, are not quite ready yet. But I think that's just a good overview of everything that we have in the wand weapon talent tree right now. And some of my thoughts on, how we might be able to improve this overall and kind of spice this up a little bit to make sure that it's as good as it can be. Overall, I think the weapon talent system is in a good place, but the Ashes of Creation team could definitely make some tweaks to make the system even better and more dynamic. Can't tell you how excited I am for Alpha 2, and I can't wait to play around with these systems and all the different weapon types and archetypes. But thank you so much for watching. I'm just getting this channel started, and I'm going to be...
Alright. So, let me throw him a like real fast. Make sure you guys, when you're watching the Ashes Creators YouTube channels or YouTube videos, make sure you hit that like button. It's important. It helps so much. Let me type him a little quick comment real fast. Vale Mistwarden, first time chat. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. Says react to other people's video, easy claps. I wasn't really reacting. I'm not really reacting to the video. I'm actually absorbing what he's saying because he's really diving deep into this particular topic. Weapon talents are crazy. He did a pretty big deep dive that I watched yesterday on rating in Ashes of Creation, and I just really enjoy getting different people's perspectives, and then of course it lets us have a good conversation. So let me drop the link in here to that video so you guys can go give him a like, subscribe to his channel, all that stuff. Drew Plays say, it's so weird hearing someone say Intrepid could do X and Y better when we literally haven't played the games as proposed yet. I think that... I don't know that that's necessarily that crazy. I mean, in this particular case, they have shown us something and said, this is what you're going to get. And so we can look at it and say, oh, well, I really like that they did this and this and this. But, in general, I agree with him. Having some type of a capstone ability, a capstone to those trees, I think that would make a big difference for how excited I get for the trees and how excited I get every time I got a new talent ability, talent skill point to put in there. Hi there. Sorry, my daughter needs hugs. Hi, sweetheart. How are you doing? Good. You doing good? I love you. I'll talk to you in here. I'll be done in about an hour, okay? Okay, bye. You gotta see yourself on camera real first? Oh my God, get out of here. I love you. Okay. So, Where was I? Oh yes, the skill points. Like I would get excited every time I got a new skill point if I was like building towards some zenith, something at the end. So I can understand the idea of saying, hey, look, I think they could do better if they did this, especially when you put it in the context of, hey, what they've done is great. I'm not crapping on what they've done. I'm just saying, hey, it would be really nice if we had, this other thing. So think about how much more in-game content this adds. If it takes the same amount of time to level from 1 to 50 to get 2.5 weapons leveled, imagine how long it will take to level all the weapons. Yeah. It's one of the things I wanted to talk about at some point, the idea of like horizontal progression and what they could do to add infinite or near infinite horizontal progression, and especially how you could keep that where you're not getting more powerful than other people. You're getting more choices. You have more, you're adding more tools to your toolbox, but it's not actually making you more powerful, because the problem with horizontal progression that actually makes you more powerful, like ESO is a good example of this, is you get to keep doing it infinitely or for a long time, and it makes it where a new person coming to Ashes of Creation now has years of catch up to get to where you are now, and by the time they get to where you are now, you're so much further ahead of them that it's crazy. So that's a whole other stream topic, and I do plan on getting to that stream, because we're gonna need that stuff. So yeah, reacting to videos as a smaller creator is actually just creating conversation. Yeah, love it. Right, and what I like to do is. And some people may see this the opposite way that I see it, whatever. I'm not going to Asmongold and Lazy Peon and whatever and reacting to their content and trying to be like, hey, look at me. I'm looking at your favorite creator. Come look at me now. What I'm doing is I'll find somebody who doesn't have as big of a channel, who doesn't have as big of a platform, and say, hey, everybody go look at this guy. Like, let's listen to what he has to say. And like I said, go subscribe to him. Go like his channel. Go comment on it. All that stuff. Leave a comment that says Zillin sent me. I don't care. So, yeah. And I don't know. Maybe people may not see that the same way. Missed the follow. That was the joke. React to people's videos. Oh, gotcha. Okay. Hexia says, hi, Miss Aria. For those of you who don't know, Hexia, as was in my old Star Wars Old Republic guild, she and I have known each other a very long time. That was my daughter that came in her, and her name is Arya. Drew says, that's fair. It was the kind of way he phrased it that threw me off. Okay. Yeah, I guess I can see that. But yeah, I think he was just trying to say, hey, look, what they've given us is good. I like what I see. Here's some areas where I think it could be a little better. It could be tuned. It could be tweaked. But like, I'll tell you right now, if they don't add a capstone ability to each of the trees there, I'm still playing Alpha 2 and I'm still playing the shit out of it. Mabari says, have they confirmed leveling weapons the more they use them? I'm confused because Mabari's chatting on YouTube now instead of Twitch, and he's been on Twitch this whole time. I just broke my brain just now. It's so funny how much little stupid things will break your brain. Yes, I know the music stopped. I don't understand. I'm gonna bring back the Ashes music right now, but I'm a little bit nervous about doing it because that was weird. Alright, we're going to do the Battle of the God Spike. Let me know if the music's too loud. Mabari, yes, we do know that you will level up your weapons by using them. Or, that's not right, is it? Now that Mabari said that, it's got me questioning. I don't know. Do you just get weapon skill points and you can put them into whatever weapon you want? Or do you have to use an ability or use a weapon in order to get skill points? Somebody in chat tell me, because I now I'm lost. Ulrich with a first time chat says, think so. You get a point. I know that, but not 100%. I got no clue. I don't remember if they told us. Pretty sure it's weapon specific. Okay, there you go. I may have to go back and search that information up, Mavari. I'm not sure. I am not sure. Fire Tips 1531 says, I plan on trying to stream when Alpha 2 launches. Fire Tips, let me ask something. Why wouldn't you get started now? Build an audience. Like when Alpha 2 starts, it's going to be 600, 700,000 people watching Twitch, and they're all going to be watching creators that they've gotten used to and that they like and they enjoy and stuff. My advice, get started. Ulrich says we will know soon. We sure will. We sure will. Pocket says, I think you must use the weapon to build it up. Okay. Mr. Noobtastic says, giving exposure to newer or smaller creators who are doing good things is always a good thing. That's the way I see it. Some people may see it as like you're stealing their content or something, but yeah. I don't think they mentioned how they level, like if they gain XP or if you just get weapon points as you gain normal experience. My guess is you're going to get weapon points as you gain experience, and then you're going to use those points on whatever weapon you want. That's my guess. Got to make sure my computer can handle it first. You can handle WoW. Give it a shot, man. Come on, come stream. Come stream and hit me up in Discord whenever you do. I'll hop in and be your first follower. Splinter says, do we know that yet? Maybe it's earning weapon XP, which grants skill points at milestones. It may be. It may be. Vale Mistweather says, people forget Q3 starts in 10 days. No, sir. No, sir. I'm not forgetting that shit. I fucking think about Q3 and Alpha 2 starting at 400, 500, 700 times a day. Every fucking day. It's all I think about. I'm playing games with my friends. A game that I actually enjoy, and we're having fun, and I'm still fucking thinking about, I wish I was in Ashes of Creation. Talk about this people forget nonsense. Nah. Ain't nobody forgetting. Bar says chatting on phone sucks. Oh, because you said the. Yeah, chatting on a phone does suck. I agree. Like every time I'm trying to watch somebody stream on my phone, and then I'm trying to like interact with the chat and be a good viewer and like, you know, make be an interactive show, I'm like, this sucks. I'm going to set my computer. Lud says, yeah, if you're at one viewer on the start of A2, you ain't getting any higher. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. But it's going to be hard. But there were people who were virtually unheard of. Nobody had a clue who they were when Alpha 1 started. Tin Man being one of them. And got themselves a nice little following during Alpha 1 by being very, very entertaining. Now, if you're just planning on streaming and silent and you're not saying anything and you're not interacting with chat, and if chat's not talking, you're not talking, if you're planning on doing that, yeah, you're not going to grow. But if you could just sit there and be like, blah, 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 nonstop, never shut your mouth like me, then yeah, you might grow. If it was universal, they would need to increase the X point gain by 2 to 3 times. It could just take less experience. No, it would just... you're going to go through your level, and at certain marks on your level, I think they said every 25% of your level, you're going to get a skill point that's related to like your universal skill points. So if it was like instead of 5 times per level, it was 10 times per level that you got a weapon point, then that would make it go 2 times faster. Yeah. Steven did say the weapon XP is faster than the level XP. Yep. And that, if they're saying there's going to be weapon XP and leveling XP, then I would think that it would be based on the weapon itself for sure. I love this song, man. Lud says, "Joke's on you. I heard he followed Fire Tips." This is some bullshit, man. Can't even let me be the first follower. That's messed up, man. Drew says, "Can't wait for Alpha 2 to start in January of 2026. I do not think that I would be there if Alpha 2 started in January of 2026. There's no way. There's no way. I think I would. That's like, if they hadn't promised it Q3 of this year and it just kept going and kept going to that, but now that they've said it's going to be the Q3 of this year, if they keep delaying it all the way to Jan 2026, I'm going to be like, something fishy going on here. Ban the Doomer. Ban that guy. January 2026 might be Beta 2. And I'm fine with that. That's just fine. Beta 2 in January 2026. Let's fucking do it. Drew says, "I'd be there. I'd probably just pump the brakes on excitement a bit and let it lie for a while." I mean, I would definitely go into a deep hole. Like, if they, I'll tell y'all right now, if they push back this by anything more than like a few weeks, I'm hibernation. It's gonna be 2023 all over again. Y'all aren't gonna hear from me. Splinter says, "I'm ready for launch in August of 2028. You people, what do you mean, you people? You people who are watching right now, let me tell you something. When that man right there says, Splinter says, I'm ready for launch in August of 2028, you goddamn better listen. Let me tell you why. Splinter is one of those guys that's been a subscriber to my channel going way back, months before Alpha 1. Early in the life of my channel. Splinter and I have known each other quite a while. After Alpha 1, so like September, maybe October of 2021, Splinter, who was a video game developer, by the way, predicted Q3 of 2024 for Alpha 2. So, if he's saying August 2028, damn good, you better listen. You better listen. I know I missed a couple of chats up here. I know I did. Where did I see that one that I missed? I know, Hexia asked, can anyone join Alpha 2? No. Alpha 2 was on sale for 7 years, I think, for $250. Only $75 of those dollars was actually for the access into Alpha 2. The rest of it is buying actual tangible things like in-game time. But anyways, they canceled those sales about, I don't know, 6 months ago, something like that. There are a few people in the community who still have keys to give away. That was given to them by Intrepid, and I suspect very strongly that they are going to announce the content creator program and who is in it before Alpha 2 and probably give those people who get in it a fairly significant number of keys to give away. So Hexia, at that point, if I get into the content creator program, which I have no expectation of doing so, but if I do, and if they give me keys, I'll have some type of competition going on that you can win, and you can win a key. So, but right now, no, you can't just buy your way in. The Prophet Islam al-Ghaib. Lisa al-Ghaib. Yeah. Oh, man. I love Dune. It's so good. It's been so long since I read those books. Every time movie or news about the video, like every time I see anything about Dune, I have a little missing part of my heart that's like, I haven't read those books in too long. It's been too long. The Lisan al-Ghaib. I would be so surprised if A2 is delayed at all. I feel like it'll just be Steven being a perfectionist that delays it. What they've shown is so far beyond most alphas. So a couple things, Drew. I would be floored if they delay Alpha 2. I think that they'll release Alpha 2 knowingly release it in a mostly broken state if that's what it takes to release it in quarter 3. Because I think that they have done too many delays. Steven is now extremely gun-shy about giving us dates. So I feel like when they gave us a date, it was something they knew they could hit. And I think they would go, okay, everybody, Alpha 2's here, go. And we'd all get in and the servers would break and they would have known that was going to happen beforehand. And they'll go, oh, God, the servers broke. We don't know what happened. We're going to have to take the servers down for a couple of times. Alpha 2 still launched. We're still in our Alpha 2 testing phase. We launched Alpha 2 when we said we would, but now we're going to take the servers down for a couple of weeks and repair them, and then they'll come back up. As far as what you said about what they've shown is far beyond most alphas, that's true. I mean, they've shown some incredible stuff, but let's not forget that PI, without saying it, said it, that it was a little bit of a shit show just getting the 60 people logged in on the servers at the same time, server stable, can do the war without crashing and wild shit happening. So I wouldn't just hang my hat on it's ready. You could even make an argument that caused them concern. But I think we're going to have a much, much better understanding of where they stand after this live stream, because this live stream is all about optimization. And this live stream might be all about optimization because they know we better fucking optimize this so that a bunch of people can be on the screen at one time if we're going to have Alpha 2 in quarter 3. So I think we're going to have a better understanding here coming very soon. I'm okay with that release date, but that means 4 years in A2. Yeah, and I think that's bad. Very bad. Pocket says, I have one key for giveaway, but will wait till closer to launch or at launch. Okay. So there you go, Hexia. You can hit up Pocket. I don't know how he plans on giving it away, but I know he's a content creator, so follow him on Twitch and shit. Join all his things. Thruck, there will likely be keys given away, and they mentioned that keys may go on sale again sometime into Alpha 2 if the test and bodies drop down lower. And Thruck is 100% accurate. Yeah, I hope I hope that doesn't happen. Not because I want to gatekeep and keep other people out. I'm not saying that I'm hoping the keys never go on sale again. I'm more saying I'm hoping the game is so fun and so entertaining, even in a testing environment, that people stick around and they're just like, no, we don't need any more testers, because that's really good sign for the game. What did you think about Dune Awakening? Dune Awakening is the new game from the Conan, from Funcom, right? From the Conan Exiles people. I want to make sure that I have that right. Survival game. Okay, yeah. I mean, what did I think about it? I've never fucking played it. I don't know. It looks awesome. I'm waiting. I signed up for the beta. Funcom. Send me a fucking key. I'll test it every day. I like Conan Exiles, and I really love Dune. Come on. Oh, it does say do. My bad. Reading is hard. Okay. Yeah, it looks awesome. I'm excited about a lot of the different features that they've talked about. What we know about it. As soon as they said you could build and fly an ornithopter across the map, I threw my wallet at the monitor, like, take my money. So yeah, I'm ready. Splinter says, I'm just trolling. I hope it won't be that far out, but honestly, after A2 launch, we should have a pretty good idea of how much time is left until launch. And I agree with that for the most part. I think by December of this year, we'll all be like, okay, we need to buckle in for 2 more years, or we'll be like, hey, we're going to be in beta in like 9 months. You know, I think we're going to know. It's been 3 years since A1. It has. It's been 3 years. I'm telling y'all, after A1, when Spencer said it was going to be 3 years, I was like, you're fucking crazy, dude. It can't be 3 years to A1 or A2. I'm sorry. Yeah, but I was wrong. I was wrong. I think they need A1 testers in at least a month before A2 to slam the servers. I think that they need the A1 testers in right now. A1 testers, let's go. Ulrich says, so many systems that need testing with people doing they unexpected things. I know, it's the best thing. To me, it would be the worst and best part about being a video game developer, if you were like a big time and you were making a game like this, is just knowing that there's no predicting. None. There is 0% chance that you're going to accurately predict what your players are going to do when they get inside this fucking game. None. No predicting it. That's fun, because you never know what they're going to come up with. It's also terrifying, because you never know what they're going to come up with. Thrux says, what they have shown is beyond most alphas, but it does sound like they are focusing the camera on the things that are mostly ready. And I do agree with that. Like, you know, the whole thing about we've been in the Riverlands, oh my god, every fucking stream is in the Riverlands, and a lot of people were coming in, you know, if you were saying that, you hear from the back, you know, from the crowd, oh no, they only show us 10% of what's done. Other stuff is definitely done. And then they showed Sand Squall Desert as a part of the Midnight Magic live stream. Sand Squall Desert's not ready. It's not. I mean, they've worked on it. It's had work done on it. But it's not Riverlands. It's nowhere near Riverlands ready. So it's like, is Sand Squall Desert the last one? And that's why they're just getting to it? If Sand Squall Desert is just the next biome after Riverlands, we got a long road to hoe, ladies and gentlemen. A long road to hoe. Because there's, 9 more biomes that they got to do? So that stuff is confusing. PAX Day is an EA and can be freely bought, and that shit is nowhere near what Ashes is shown. Yes, well, that's because PAX Day is a kind of sort of MMO, kind of sort of survival game that has no identity and a trash monetary system and is destined for ambiguity into perpetuity. And I will continue to say that over and over and over again. Also, triple play. Bro. You keep texting me X videos. Twitter videos. I have a Twitter, bro. Just send them to me on Twitter. Come on, man. I do have an X. It's Zillion_official. As soon as I said X videos, I was like, Twitter videos. I was hoping nobody would catch that, but no. We're all degenerates in here, right? Oh, God. They have an update video about it today. I haven't watched it yet, though. Are you talking about Dune Awakening? Dune Awakening has an update video? Pocket says, follow him on Twitch and shit. I love this quote. Yes. Yes. I want everybody to follow Pocket on Twitch and shit. Them's the facts. All right, what we got here? Let the horde in so they can break all the shit. I think that they have to. How do I explain this? So let's say that Alpha 2 is one of those smash rooms where there's just, clocks and cars and just different things everywhere for you that's totally breakable. And the whole idea is you get in there and you break shit and you get your anger out, right? Well, in order to have a smash room, the garage or whatever room it is that you're holding the smash room in has to be stable and can't be crumbling and falling in on you and crashing and killing people and stuff. So they've got to make the garage stable first. Then they can let people come in and smash it. I think that's where we are. Thing about the guy who slow-falled to land on the building in the middle of Crossroads by using the unfinished raid dungeon entrance. Thing about the guy who used slow-fall to land on the building in the middle of Crossroads by using the unfinished raid dungeon entrance. I don't know what that is. Is that a reference to World of Warcraft? I feel like it is for some reason. Riverlands is huge. Riverlands is huge. All the biomes are going to be huge. They're going to be absolutely massive. And that's what I'm saying. If there's just now working on Sand Squall Desert, and Sand Squall Desert is only the second biome they're working on, we're years and years away. Because we've been in the Riverlands for a year and a half? Just every video's in the fucking Riverlands over and over and over and over and over again for into freaking perpetuity. And Sand Squall Desert is not ready. We saw it in Midnight Magic. Don't get me wrong, it's not awful, but it's not ready. It's certainly not of the quality of Alpha 2, and then by no means the quality that they're going to expect it to be for launch. Now, if Sand Squall Desert is the last one that they're working on, they're just putting the finishing touches on it now, okay, fine. That's where I'm how far away are we? Says, yeah, it was near a UE5 demo feel for that desert, demo reel for that desert, while Rivers looks close to a normal game. Yes. Pocket says, Zillan got that only feet. No, the only feet is Jamie. You guys want to get some awesome only feet content, go hit up Jamie Chaos. Patrick says, now what's going on with Ashes? And then, yeah, you guys said in WoW Classic is that. So I don't know about the slow fall. But I get it. You use an unfinished raid dungeon entrance to find a seam in the world. And then that thing actually is above the world because of how video games are developed. And then he slow falled and landed on Crossroads. Yeah, that's pretty funny. Oh, okay. So, Patrick, just to let you know, sir, Jamie Chaos over on the Discord, in his perpetual war to get the name of Tank changed to Vanguard, started censoring the word tank with **** K, which other people started to make that seem like that was a different word, and then Nice Gaming went crazy with it and started making innuendos based on it, and then all of a sudden everybody in the whole Discord started doing it, and then the Discord was just non-stop going with all kinds of people basically making dick jokes, but with **** K, and then they tagged Margaret in it, whatnot, and then they were calling it a riot, etc. So yeah, that's what's going on with Ashes today. We're bringing dick back. Yep. Splinter says, in game design, you think you've plugged all the holes and filled all the gaps, but without fail, the players will find a showstopper in the first hour of testing. It's always humbling. Oh, isn't that the truth, man? Isn't that the truth? It's so good. Splinter, I know that you had mentioned in my Discord that you were either applying or had already applied and had an interview or something with Intrepid to get back into the video game development world. Can you even give an update on that? Is that something you can talk about, or did I misread that? I admit that, but I am curious how that's going and if you can even talk about it. And also, if you realize that if you do apply and do end up getting hired, you can't be in my guild, which is sad for me. But whatever, I'll deal with it. I'd guess the June Dark is probably being worked on. Okay, Drew, but what's that based on? What, like, other than just gut feeling, like what evidence do we have? And why are they working on the June Dark when the Sand Squall Desert clearly wasn't ready? That's the kind of questions that I have right now. My gut, Zillin. Okay, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with having a gut feeling. I was just hoping maybe you had some inside info that I don't have. Lud says, just use flex tape. Yeah, flex tape is how you fix the bugs and seams in the world and stuff. That'll get it done. MF Crackers says, I hate to say it, but do not believe the Sand Squall Desert is the last biome needing completion. I don't either. The way that Steven's always excited to show off the shiny new toy, I think the Riverlands is complete or mostly complete, and they've started on the Sand Squall Desert, and it took them. I say it took them a year and a half to do the Riverlands. They may be working on things, asynchronously or whatever. So, like, they may have gotten the Riverlands to the point where they could show things in it, and that was fine. And then they started working hard on the combat and this node and that archetype and whatever. And then at the end, they're like, okay, we need to like tighten up the Riverlands and start making it look better. And they've really only been doing it for 2 months or something like that. And if that's the case, then yeah, the time frame squeezes down a lot more. I'm just going based on what little information that we have. What are you going to send me in Discord later? The video for Dune Awakening? Please do. Please do. D's nuts. Wagsy, what's going on, brother? How are you doing, man? Thank you for stopping in. Millhouse says, I would like to revisit the 10K for punts. Millhouse, I'm going to allow you to make your case. Make your case for why they should be less than 10K. And keep in mind that if your case is because I want it to be that way, that's not good enough. If I make it much less than that, it's going to happen multiple times per video or per stream, which right now, again, might not be so bad. But when we actually get to play the game, when on the launch of Alpha 2 on September 78th of this year, like we're going to be playing a game. I can't be stopping to do pun tokens all the time. Zillin, haha, surprise! I've been an intrepid employee all along. Don't play with my emotions, Spencer. Why would you do that? Why would you? I thought we were friends. We've had conversations about our families and kids and stuff. It made me sad, man. It made me sad. Pocket says, the video of the Highjaw to Crossroads. I don't know nothing but Dune. About Dune. I already sent the video. Oh, okay. Awesome. Awesome. You sent me a video of things. How to reach the top of Crossroads Inn Tower from Highjaw. And so there's an unfinished raid there. Okay. Okay, cool. I'll have to check that out later. Thank you for sending that to me. Millhouse says, this one starts with an F. Fuck. from what you've heard, Dune is confusing. Do you mean the movies, the books, the new game that's coming out? What do you mean Dune is confusing? I don't think Dune is confusing. I mean, it's like a epic, sweeping political allegory about the consolidation of power and power corrupting and etc. Breezy1515 says, "Where is the Riot on Discord in the AOC discussion channel? Are they still going? Let me look. Let me go look. Are they still going? Are they still making dick jokes non-stop in there?" There's still some chat, but it looks like maybe the Riot oh, no, there's a dick joke. Okay, yeah. So, Breezy, what happened was Jamie Chaos, in his infinite petition that he's got going on to change the name of the tank archetype in Ashes of Creation to Vanguard, he decided to censor the word tank and refused to use the word tank anymore, so he started using asterisk, asterisk, asterisk K. And then Nice Gaming took that as a innuendo for dick, and then started making all kinds of dick jokes that were related to tank jokes in MMO, talking about like the size of your tank versus the size of the boss. But of course, when you do asterisk, asterisk, asterisk K, it looks like you're talking about the size of your dick compared to the size of the boss, etc. And then chat went just ballistic in Discord with people just making every dick joke related to MMO tank joke that you can possibly imagine, and then more on top of that. And Margaret was tagged in it, and yeah, it went it went crazy. So there was a riot to change the name, and I'm curious now if, number one, if there's going to be repercussions, if anyone's going to get in trouble. I hope not, because it was all in good fun, and Ash and Intrepid is pretty, like, you can tell that they try to be as buttoned up as they can be, especially Margaret. She wants to come off like extremely professional, and we don't do anything wrong right here. We don't say the word shit, and then every once in a while, Steven will just be like, "Hey, crackers make the best shit." So, is there a link to my Discord? Is the hashtag, I mean, not hashtag, but exclamation point Discord thing working? I don't even know. Let's find out. Look at that shit. I did something right. Get wrecked, everybody. There's a link to my Discord. Keep in mind that what's going on here is happening in the Ashes Discord, not in my Discord. Yeah, not in my Discord. But if you want to go join my Discord, there it is. I highly encourage it. We've been getting busier and busier. Lots of Ashes conversation happening recently. You could also check out my guild, Organized Chaos, if you're still guildless for Alpha 2. Except there's no space, so it's not even a link. Looks like I could click it right now. Yeah, you can click it. All right, I missed some chat. Let's see. The story of Dune is confusing. I don't think the story of Dune is confusing at all. There is a little bit of allegory in it, so if you don't get allegory, you may not get that. But even you don't need to get allegory in order to understand what's going on. I think maybe the most confusing thing and the most difficult part of it is he made up a lot of like new words for things that already exist. So yeah, there's some of that going on. But watch the movie; they're great. Those two movies that have come out, they're fantastic. Dadrick6, thank you for the follow. Although I feel like you followed me the other day. Whatever. Thanks for the follow, man. Appreciate it. I think the new Dune movies were not done well. Very disappointed. Interesting. I don't have a problem with them. I mean, there are definitely some changes. And we all know the reason for those changes, and that really sucks. But I don't, for the most part, I feel like you understand what's going on. My wife, who knows nothing about Dune, nothing, not watched the movie, none of the made-for-TV movies or the TV show, none of that stuff. Was able to watch it and understand what was going on. She did have to, me trying to explain to her that the Kwisatz Haderach and the Supreme Being and the Lisan al Gaib are like all the same person, but just prophecies from different tribes or groups. That part I had to explain to her, but everything else she kind of got on her own. You guys didn't understand what the asterisk K was, but what about PvP-ness of our dicks? Tanks. I meant tanks. That's tanks, right? MF Cracker says you thought the original movie was way better. The David Lynch one, the Sting one, the Kyle MacLachlan one. Like, I love that movie. I've watched the 4.5-hour version of that movie probably 50 times. But, like, do you know the history of that movie and why they changed so much and why it's so, like, wildly different from the books and stuff? Like, that movie is not a good, coherent movie in a lot of different ways. Yeah, it's good, but it's kind of like Wheel of Time, the TV show. Me and my wife are watching it, and we have no problem with it. Whatever, it's fine. Not the best show I've ever watched or anything, but we're liking it. But my two friends who've watched the Wheel of Time movies or read the Wheel of Time books, they fucking hate those books or those movies so much because they're so wildly different from the books, and so. That's why I'm saying, like, they were more faithful to the books in these movies, the Dune movies, than that original Dune movie. But I still like that movie standalone by itself. Triple Play says, depends on how many books you get into. It gets wacky when the kids of the original author took over. Oh my God, it gets like way out there. I had to stop. I had to stop. It got really. I mean, the reality is that is it God Emperor of Dune? I think God Emperor of Dune is when even that, and Frank Herbert was still writing at that point. It got weird there, and it just got weirder after. Splinter says there are some great practical set pieces in the original. There really are. No, if you don't know, God, I can't believe we're talking about the 1986 Dune. I forget the exact details. Okay, it's been too long since I researched it and looked into it. But, like, there were 3 different directors of that movie. And the first director blew through, like, 90% of the budget, getting, like, 30 minutes of footage. So they had 30 minutes of a 4.5-hour movie of footage, and the budget was gone. And so they, like, scrapped him out of there and brought in somebody else, and then he was like excited to take over because he's a big Dune fanboy, and he gets in and he starts like trying to make all these changes, and everybody's like, we don't got any money for that. And he's like, oh well, you can't make this movie without any money. And so he bailed out, and they brought in another guy, and like his whole, I guess that would have been David Lynch, and his whole spiel was like, I can make movies for nothing, for cheap. And so he finished the movie with like no budget, and that's why everything is practical effects. And yeah, the acting is, well, Sting, and yeah, it's you never saw Dune, huh? The made-for-TV movie special is probably the most accurate and best version of Dune you can watch. The new movies are really cool, very theatrical. They're beautiful, beautiful movies. They don't tell the story quite as well. You know, Cracker said I liked it. Hey, have you seen the extended version? That's like real long. It's seriously more than 4 hours. I think it was like 3 or 4 DVDs back in the day. Drew says, yeah, I like the new ones. As a Dune noob. Yeah, I think that if you're a Dune noob, if you've not watched any Dune, read any books, the new movies will be like a wonderful introduction into the Dune franchise. If you've already watched some previous Dune, especially like MF Crackers is like, there's like a campy quality to the 86 Dune, the David Lynch Dune. That like, if you like that, you like get attached to that, and nothing else can live up to that, even though that really wasn't that good, but like that campy quality like brought you in. Imaginus says sci-fi miniseries Dune for the win. And yes, if you want the most accurate representation of the Dune books, that miniseries is fantastic. It's fucking great. It is absolutely fantastic. And then they did Children of Dune after that, so you can watch the next thing, and that's got James McAvoy in it, and so have at it. It's great. The end with the Baron, the movies just don't compare. Yeah. I only watched the basic Lynch movie, and I loved the new movies. Great. I'm glad that there's a lot of Dune enthusiasm in the world for a long time, y'all, for a long time. Keep in mind, I'm 44. So when the 1986 Dune movies came out, I was 6 years old. And I remember we lived in this apartment complex. And a really poor apartment complex on the west side of Fort Worth. I grew up really poor, for those of you who don't know that. And I might have been 8 or so. So the movies had been out for a little while. And we were out swimming in the pool, and my parents were in the apartment of someone else hanging out with them, and we walked in and we saw the big worms coming out, and it scared the piss out of me because I was 8 years old. And they were like, hey, we're watching a movie, y'all go play or whatever. Remember, a lot of y'all kids don't know nothing about that. They used to just kick us out of the apartment at 8 years old and say, hey, we're on the poor side of Fort Worth. Go play. And we did. And I didn't see it until I was like 13 or so. I actually watched it, and I have been talking about Dune ever since then, and nobody knows what the fuck I'm talking about. No one's known what I'm talking about with Dune for a long time. And and then if you try to go show them that the 1986 version of Dune Dune, you try to show somebody that in like 2005 or 2008 or something like that, they're like, What is this? What is this? This is awful. So I'm really excited that, number one, the movies have come out, and then I think that the Dune Awakening game is going to broaden the appeal even more and get a lot more people excited into it. Kind of like a different Conan, like the Conan Exiles really revived that franchise. So I'm excited about that. And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of wish that I could just tell my kids, go outside and don't come back out. Don't come back till it's dark. Woo, you'd get yourself in a lot of trouble if you did that these days. Miniseries, you say? I never saw. Looking for this. Yes, it's done on Sci-Fi. The Sci-Fi Channel did it. One of the things that you definitely need to prepare yourself for is the Weirding Way and the Weirding modules and what the Weirding Way is. Because what the Lynch version of Dune, like, it didn't even bastardize it. It just changed it. It just has nothing to do with what is actually the Weirding Way. So you need to be prepared for that, because when I saw the miniseries, I was like, what is going on here? This is so weird. It's so different. So just be prepared for that. Be prepared for that. Still, no one has ever done God Emperor of Dune. Could you? That's some weird shit, man. It would just have to, I feel like it would have to just be nothing but sci-fi. To God Emperor, I don't even remember what it was about anymore. I just remember reading it with like, I don't, what, huh? Every 8 sentences, you're like, what is going on? Patrick said, LOL, my parents always kicked me out too in South Florida. The bad parts. Lucky I'm alive. Yes. I don't even think it's lucky that we're alive. I think that the danger out there is 0.00001%. Yes, it might happen, but it's infinitesimally small, and I think that we are actually doing a long-term, we are doing mandatory long-term damage to our kids in order to avoid possible, like infinitesimally small possible short-term damage to our kids. But that's a whole, we're getting into a whole other conversation with all of that. Do we have worm sign? We have worm sign, the likes of which God has never seen. I know, I love that line. It's a great line. Great line. It's where you learn how to fight, though. Yeah, I wasn't too much learning how to fight where I was from, but yeah. You probably lose your kids if you do that today, I'd imagine. Yes, there are people who've had the police or CPS called on them because their kids are playing in their front yard. Not in the street. Not in the neighbor's yard. Not down the street. In their front yard. Mom's like doing the dishes and just keeping an eye on them through the kitchen window. CPS getting called. Yeah, you can't. Your kids have to stay in your line of sight at all times, or you're a bad parent. People are wanting to invest in some kind of sci-fi since the Disney Star Wars has been done nothing but create apathy. Disney's made Star Wars content? Are you sure? I may have to look into that. I don't think I've heard of that. The books get seriously weird as time went on. At several times, I was like, what the F is happening? Yes, it gets weirder and weirder and weirder. And then, like, as Triple Play pointed out earlier, when his kids take over. I mean, I didn't even read them. I tried to at one point, but I was just like, Blood says, yeah, I've never heard of that. Yeah, Disney Star Wars? I don't know. Disney owns Star Wars. Now, yeah, I mean, I heard that Disney bought Star Wars, but I didn't... They haven't, like, put out any movies or TV shows or anything like that. Maybe like a comic book or something? I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, nothing. When I was a kid, I would just go out and come back many hours later. Y'all, I mean... So, my mom lived on the west side of Fort Worth. And, I mean, you know, most of you aren't from Texas and not specifically from Fort Worth. You don't know this. The west side of Fort Worth is kind of like the ghetto or the bad side or whatever. And it's a pretty dangerous area. And then my dad lived in Denton, which, you know, a lot of people say Dallas-Fort Worth, and you've heard of if you're not from here, you've heard of Dallas-Fort Worth or DFW. But if you live in that area, they actually say Dallas-Fort Worth, Denton, and it creates like a little triangle because Denton has become so big. And I was literally 10 years old riding my bike up and down the ridiculously busy streets of Denton, Texas, which is a major town or major city. We would go ride, we'd go find like a bridge somewhere and go underneath it and explore and check shit out. And I had a friend that would like, this is embarrassing to admit, but I didn't do it, but my friend did it. He would like look under the bridges and on the side of the road and stuff for cigarette butts that people had thrown out that had like a tiny little bit about it. And he would go smoke a cigarette. I've never smoked a cigarette in my life, but he would go smoke whatever was left of one just to smoke one, like 10, 11 years old. I mean, I would get up and leave like as soon as Saturday morning cartoons were over at like 9. And I wouldn't come back till it was dark. And my parents wouldn't have one clue where I was. One of our friends would just say, "Hey, I'm hungry. Let's go eat at my house," and we'd all just pile into their house and eat whatever food they had. Nobody asked for permission for shit. Man, Gen X was raised differently. We were raised in a whole other. It's a whole other thing, man. MF Cracker says, sorry to abandon you all, but I'm going to go watch the Dune miniseries. Go do it. You're going to love it, man. You're going to love it. Go watch it. Go watch it. That's funny, man. Lulu says, though I do hear they're working on an interesting show about a dude in prison. Seems real interesting. Like Disney? Okay. Splitchy says, yeah. Y'all remember what it's like leaving the house and not having a cell phone because they didn't exist and there was no way for your parents to know where you were or what you were doing? Seriously. Seriously. They had no clue what we were doing. And what's funny is, not 90, 85, 80, 87, 75, 60% of the time, we weren't doing anything we weren't supposed to be doing. Like more than half the time, we were doing like pretty normal, non-illegal, non-destructive things. But there was that other portion of time where, yeah, we were getting in trouble. I got in some trouble when I was a kid. But like Splinter said, most of us turned out pretty good. Yep. And if you want somebody to just be your friend and not judge you and not like, I have a couple of friends that like if I text them or they text me and they haven't texted me in like 3 weeks, they'd be like, "Hey man, I'm so sorry that I haven't texted you in a while. It's been really busy. Life is really tough. The kids are, crazy. My wife is keeping me really busy. So I'm really sorry I haven't talked to you in so long. But, would you like to get lunch this weekend?" And I'm like, "Bro, you can skip all the preamble. You're busy. I'm busy. I'm not sitting there like, you haven't called me. Why haven't you communicated with me in weeks? Nah, when you got time, message me. When I got time, I'll message you. Get you a Gen X friend." I'm telling you, man, that's what you want. You want a Gen X friend. Somebody, it don't even have to be Gen X. Just anybody who their parents kicked them out of the house on Saturday, every Saturday and Sunday in the morning and said, "Don't come back until it's dark outside." Get you a friend like that. I probably should be the best friend you had. Best friend you ever had. You left me on red. We're done. Yeah, fuck all that, man. We ain't doing all that nonsense. Oh, that's funny. Gen X is feral as fuck. It's true. It's true. All right, guys. I'm going to get out of here. It's been fun chatting with you guys. I know that it was supposed to be at Ashes of Creation, and we got all off on Dune and Gen X and everything else. But that's what we do over here. We talk about whatever. I will be back Sunday night, sometime probably around 7 or 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. And all you guys come hang out with me. And I haven't figured out what stream topic's going to be yet, but we are going to have a Ashes of Creation centric stream instead of a Dune centric stream. That sound good? All right, y'all. Raid. Phantom X is on. Thank you for whoever just said that. Lud, you are the man. Let us raid.
Or I'm a bit longer, so
Or Loreforged?
I don't know this.
I am not following Phantom X. Is that right? Wait, what? Ashen Forge. Okay, guys, sorry about this. Y'all hold on a second, because we're gonna send. All right, he is on now. Let's go send him some love.
Hey.
We're gonna go here, and we're gonna go. Oh, we can do that from here. Okay. Raid channel. Wait, why is this being weird? I just followed him. Why? Why? Okay, we're gonna raid Lord Forge because it won't let me raid Phantom X. So there we go. Bye, y'all. Thanks for everybody hanging out.
It's apparently a thing.